wonderful crafting friends. Jessica here with Tiny Worlds of Wonder, stopping in to share a WIP and chat, a diamond painting update, a life update. My cat is currently attacking my feet because he doesn't like that I'm talking to you and not to him. First, I want to say a huge thanks to all of you out there. He literally just bit my ankle. I want to say a massive, huge thank you to all of my subscribers. This week I hit 15,000 subscribers. The channel has come so far and it is all thanks to you. And I know, you guys, that I'm still to this day not the perfect YouTuber. This is definitely my part-time job. It's a part-time gig for me, but it's something I just love doing because I get to share my crafts with a fantastic group of people like you, and I get to just hear about your lives, hear feedback about what's going on with you. It has really brought so much joy to my life, and I am incredibly grateful. I will be doing an act of generosity in celebration of that milestone one of these days really soon. I think I would like to do something that would enable someone to participate in an event who might not otherwise be able to. So that's kind of what I'm thinking as far as that celebration goes, but I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. My sister was over this weekend and she said, you need to start. She didn't say it like this. I'm gonna caricature it. Sorry, sissy. You need to start asking for subscribers in your video, like remind people to subscribe. So I'm just gonna say, smother the subscribe button in chocolate fudge and then lick it clean. And then remember to ring that little bell so that you get a notification every time I upload my weekly video, usually on Monday mornings. So that's a great way to kick off your Monday morning, your week every week. So if you guys are kind of new to the channel, if you're new to crafting, to WIP and chats, what this is gonna be today is literally me talking to myself in my kitchen while I drink coffee. And I'm gonna kind of update you on what I'm working on, what's coming up in the community that I know about, and some subscriber shout outs and some life updates. And we're just gonna kind of get to know each other in a really informal, laid back sort of way. If you wanna participate with me, of course, grab yourself a beverage. It is about 15 degrees where I live, 15 degrees Fahrenheit. And so it's definitely a hot beverage kind of day. But go make yourself a cup of coffee and come right back and then grab a project that you want to work on with me. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be a diamond painting. Just work along with me. I always get asked about the things that you see on the screen, and with good reason, of course. We all like to enable each other, so I'm here for you. I'm here for that. The tray I'm using today is from Unimade. It's a clear tray from my friend Katie at Diamonds and Washi. Love Katie, love Diamonds and Washi. Go subscribe instantly, she's great. My pen is from Jim's Handmade Pens on Etsy. Love Jim's Handmade Pens. The bright colors in this one, it felt right for this canvas. Today's canvas is Yellow Frida from artist Caroline Smith. You can check her out at carolinesmithart.com, and I really encourage you to do that. She's awesome. The canvas is produced legally with licensed artwork by our friends at Distracted by Diamonds. I'm affiliated with Distracted by Diamonds in a limited area licensing art and artists, but this canvas is my own purchase. It's from my own stash. It's a 62 by 88 round drill canvas. I'll put a link to Robin's shop in the description below. Of course, if you don't see it, when you go there and you look, never fear. She restocks often, but her canvases sell out fast. So she only likes to put up for listing what she can ship out within a day or two. My storage today is Elizabeth Ward, the Elizabeth Ward bead containers, and some baggies because there weren't enough containers in this set to do all 54 colors in this canvas. Then I have some Diamond Dots gold drills that I'm just adding for kicks and giggles here in various yellow areas of the canvas. So I have those sitting here, and my homemade cover minder. I made this from a pin, like a pin you wear. I just cut the findings off the back, added a neodymium magnet, well, 2 neodymium magnets, Of course, because this is metal, it also makes a great needle minder. So those are super easy and inexpensive and fun to make. I have a video about how to do it. I'll link it up in the cards if you're curious. So, what is in the works for diamond painting? I know I have so much to tell you. Today's video might be like an hour and a half long, you guys. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna get this edited if it's an hour and a half, but we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. So I am considering a couple of things for the coming year. Now you guys can let me know your interest level. I'm not gonna be offended if you tell me, you know, that's not really my jam. I don't think I'm really interested in doing that this time around. Because everybody's life is different and you have different things going on, and that's totally okay. That's completely okay. So the first thing I'm thinking about doing, I was thinking about starting this particular aspect right away with the new year. I want to do a Victor along focused on DIY Moon Shop's licensed artist Victor Nazovtsev, because I love Victor's work, and I have a couple of his canvases, and I really want to do one of DIY Moon's new renderings. I haven't done one yet, and so if you guys have any interest in doing a Victor along, let me know. Let me know. I'm hoping that this canvas from Distracted by Diamonds, I hope I can finish it by the end of February. I have a couple of jobs, so I can't diamond paint every day. I've also been having some pretty serious neck issues lately that have really been preventing me from doing a lot of diamond painting. But I'm hoping I can find a healthy way to finish the canvas and move on to an event, which would be really fun. I am not a Facebook user, but my friend TSL Dame over on Instagram and here on YouTube hooked me up with info about where you can find the diamond painting events calendar for the year. So I'll link that group in the description below so you guys can find it. If you're avid Facebookers, that might be something that really interests you. I tend to avoid Facebook like the plague, so I never really fully know what's going on, I feel like. But thanks TSL Dame for keeping me in the loop on that and sending me a link to that so I can go visit it and see what's going on. One event that's going on that I really want to tell you guys about and encourage you to participate in, if you have a canvas in your stash and it's a good time for you, is Mrs. Crochet and Coffee's POC for Black History event. It's focused on people of color and depictions of people of color in diamond paintings, and it's going on, I believe, the whole month of February, which is Black History Month. So like I said, if you have a canvas in your stash and it's a good time for you to participate in an event, I encourage you to do that. Since I'm kind of spinning my wheels on this project with my neck issues and everything else, I don't feel like I can take on another canvas right at the moment. But if it's a good time for you to do that, it's a great event, it's a great cause, and I'd love for a whole bunch of you to check that out. That would be great. If you want more information, check out Mrs. Coffee's Instagram, Crafting with Mrs. Crochet and Coffee, or the Facebook group Crafters Anonymous with Crafting with Mrs. Crochet and Coffee and Rachel Ray. I'll link that in the description below as well, so you guys can find out more info if you want to participate in that really, really great event. Another question I've been getting a ton lately is, are we doing Summer with the Masters again? And the answer is, right at this moment, the answer is, I hope so. I hope we're doing it again. I think it would be so much fun to do it again. Katie and I have mentioned it to each other just briefly, but both of us have been super busy lately. So I'm hoping that the event in some form or the other will happen again this summer. Of course, I need to get my act together so you guys can get some things ordered for that. Make sure that we have some vendors lined up who have great quality customs so that we can be ready. One shop that I would really recommend that you check out for Old Masters, if you just love Old Masters regardless of the event, is Uniquely Yours Down Under. I think Jennifer has done a spectacular job adding Old Masters to her lineup. It's almost like it's her specialty now in some way, and her selections are just gorgeous. I'll stick a link to that in the description below too. I'm going to link everybody in the whole world today. It'll be great. We love doing that. We love doing that. Now I've been saving up a couple of photos from the community to show you. Speaking of summer with the masters, I have some things to show you, you guys. And I've been saving these photos up. I am sharing them with permission, so but I've been saving them up for a video that's a little more freeform, I guess, like a WIP and chat. With all the life events I'm going to tell you about, I haven't gotten to for a long time. But I'm so excited to share them with you today. So the first picture that I want to show you today is a beautiful finish from our friend Liv Sparks 01. Liv finished Take the Fair Face of Woman by Sophie Gingembre Anderson. I believe, Liv, you did this for Summer with the Masters, correct? Liv did this in a 55 by 70 centimeter round drill canvas. And this is on my wish list of customs. This turned out beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing it, Liv. I love seeing it. Every time I open up my video editing folder, I've been saving these photos right there, so I get to see it every single time. And every time I see the photos I'm gonna share with you today, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. It's so pretty. So thanks for sharing that. The other photo I wanna show you today is an absolutely epic finish by our friend Kay. I know you've seen Kay around the community. Hi, Kay. Kay finished the swing in a 105 by 140 centimeter square drill canvas. Of course, this is the original art, The Swing by Fragonard. This is a showstopper, Kay. I cannot even get over it. How much time and love must have gone into this piece absolutely blows me away. It is incredible. Kay, thank you so much for letting me share your photo here on the channel. I know when people see it, they're just gonna be blown away. So everybody, down in the comments, give your nicest, kindest compliments to our fellow subscribers here. If you have an epic finish that you wanna share with me that you think would just blow our subscribers away, that's really extra special, look for my email address in the About section and shoot me that picture, because I would love to see it and I'd love to feature it in an upcoming WIP and Chat. One thing I'm digging so hard actually about this canvas that I'm working on, Yellow Frida, is that it has a ton of color blocking. Now, I'm not normally a fan of color blocking at all actually, but I found that I'm a fan of color blocking when it makes the canvas go pretty fast and when I'm having like other life struggles that are keeping me from diamond painting very much. It really keeps the momentum rolling along on the project. So right now in my life, I'm really appreciating the color blocking. I love watching her other eye come to life here. This is cool. So on this canvas, I'm taking the tack of changing it up a little bit. Normally, I work in order all the way across my canvas. This time, I was getting kind of bored, honestly, by like going just straight across the top, doing nice, neat rows. So I decided to box this thing up into like 36 sections, and I am doing a random number picker, and I'm choosing random sections all over the canvas in kind of a mess. I'm always working on something a little bit different, and it really has kept me going. So maybe that's something you guys want to try. If you're really getting bored with the status quo, just doing your squares in order, try the random number picker. I use random.org. It's pretty good, I think, pretty random. And I've really had a lot of fun doing that. My sections, don't judge me. My sections are super messy. Here's what the canvas is looking like right now before this section. I ran out of every tape I used in my stash. So I ran out of masking tape when I was sectioning this off. I ran out of Distracted by Diamonds washi tape that came with the canvas. It might have actually come with a different canvas. And then I finished off with some gift washi tape from my stash from a beautiful subscriber. So I'm kind of using a smattering of different tapes to section this up. It's not quite as polished as maybe it should be, but I'm having a lot of fun with the canvas. It's basically perfect quality, and the drills are so sparkly. I love Distracted by Diamonds drills. Their rounds are like little beautiful chiclets or something. They're so shiny. They're so pretty. So I'm having a blast with that. So on to a life update as of now. So I know the beginning of this video has been pretty upbeat on purpose, because I'm going to give you a real life update on this next section. But I want to give the disclaimer at this point that this section of the video is going to contain some things that are difficult to hear, okay? They're going to contain some things that are very emotional for me to talk about. They're going to contain some things that are difficult to think about. They're going to contain some references to suicide. So if that is not good for you today, if you need to watch the first part of this video and then check out for the day and go on about the rest of your day, please do that. I'm not offended. I will not be offended if you do that, because I want you to be comfortable and happy in your skin today. And I'm sharing this today because a lot of you know me, I think even through YouTube, you guys know me pretty well. Like, you know a lot about my life. You know a lot about just me. You've gotten to know me. And so I can't do a WIP and chat and a life update without talking about the things that I'm going to talk about today. But if that's not good for you, please don't hang around. Please don't hang around. So I haven't done a WIP and chat in many months. And I'm sure you guys have noticed that my posting schedule since about November has not been like the weekly, exactly at 9 a.m. once a week kind of posting schedule that it pretty much consistently was before that point. And that is because I've had something happen in my family that is just, I don't think there's any other way to describe it other than devastating and life altering and earth shattering. And it has really thrown me for a loop, as I think it would anyone, honestly. So a little context to the story that has really been kind of at the forefront of what's happening in my life for the last few months. I have 2 siblings, and I'm still gonna say for the rest of my life that I have 2 siblings, because I always will have 2 siblings, both younger than me, both very beloved. I have a sister and a brother. My sister's an elementary school teacher, and my brother, as of November of 2021, had just celebrated the first anniversary of owning his own electrical business. He worked very hard to become an electrician. There's a lot of schooling that you have to go through to become an electrician, obviously, because it's a job that puts people's lives on the line if you don't do it correctly. So he worked very hard, started his business. And I always feel like before I say this next thing I'm gonna say, that I have to preface it with, it doesn't matter. Like, what I'm about to say doesn't matter in the big picture. But my brother, ever since he was young, struggled with his mental health to some degree all along throughout his life. He had some traumatic life experiences that really contributed to that, as so many people do, and some other struggles that really made him, in my mind, a survivor and a person that I really admire and will always admire regardless. And the reason I say that doesn't matter is because I think it's so easy in stories like this to say, like, this couldn't happen to anybody I know because this person has struggles that I don't have, or they have struggles that I wouldn't allow myself to have. And we kind of put that out there like, this could never happen to me because XYZ. Because my family isn't like that, because I don't struggle with that, because I think we just need to have, as humans, a sense of security that things like this event couldn't happen to us. So I think when we talk about mental health in that sense, we have to be so careful, because a mental health crisis is something that can happen I'm going to get super emotional during this, you guys. I'm going to get super emotional. Hopefully everyone that is not needing to hear that has already departed for the day. I'm always tempted when I'm too raw, when I'm too emotional, to kind of edit it out. But I think in this moment, I just have to power through it. We think of mental health crises as something that you either have or you don't have. You know, you're either a person who has mental health issues or you're not. And the truth is that anyone can have a mental health crisis at any point in their life. Yes, some people struggle with this their whole life, to various degrees. And some people will live their whole life and never deal with it. But it can be something that can strike any person. And this stigma that it's kind of something that happens to other people is so harmful, and it's so untrue. And I think in some cases it's so dangerous because we feel like, you know, not to be too political, but it's like it's okay for some people to have a gun in their house because they don't have any mental health struggles. They don't have any criminal past. They don't have any X, Y, or Z. But the truth is, like, everyone is okay until they're not. Everyone's okay until they're not. And one day, back in late October, my brother was not. He wasn't. So my family and I have a family birthday party every year on Halloween because all of our birthdays are in October. And so this year we had, thank God, we had our Halloween party as usual. And my brother was there. And we had a great time. And we laughed and joked and made some great memories. And nothing about that day alerted me to the fact that my brother was undergoing a serious mental health crisis. Nothing. I've looked back over that day 100 times. Thinking, was he too quiet? Was there something too different that I should have noticed? But I didn't. And the next day, he left his house and didn't come back. And his life partner, who my family loves very much, eventually alerted us that he had not come back. He'd not come back home after that night. He was reported missing. He was missing for 5 days. And you guys, my brother was loved. He was loved by a lot of people. So his partner was frantically looking for him. His friends were frantically looking for him. And on that Friday, his vehicle was discovered near a hiking trail where I live. And search and rescue was called out. And on Saturday, late morning, he was discovered near that hiking trail in the woods, and he had taken his own life. He turned 38 the week before. It's hard to talk about. It's hard to hear about. I know it is. I don't think I can really explain kind of how things have been going in my life without kind of giving some context there. And I'm so many of you, I didn't give you any details at the time. I didn't tell you what was going on exactly because it was too fresh and too raw. But so many of you reached out with loving words and even postcards in the mail, and just really surrounded me with love during a time when I felt like my insides had become my outsides. I felt like I was walking around like a wounded person. In some ways, I still feel like I am. But I'm a little more ready to share now about my brother and how amazing he was with everybody, with everyone who will listen. So that's why Katie took over Drills and Chills and wrapped it up for me, because that's what was going on in my life. And I'm really grateful that everyone out there who was participating in the event had so much patience for that and was so kind about it. It wasn't how I really wanted to end Drills and Chills. And I didn't really want to, if you're the host of an event, disappearing feels kind of strange in a way. I don't know, but I don't feel like I really had any choice in that situation. So I think for me I have different thoughts about this on different days, of course. The thing that I don't need is for anyone to judge my brother for what he did, because I don't judge him for what he did, and I feel like his loved ones are the only ones who are kind of entitled to do that, in a way, if that makes sense. What I really feel like I want people to know today is what I said earlier. Mental health problems aren't like only something you're born with and then you have it the rest of your life. Everyone's okay until they're not. This is the part that's hard for me to say. I'm sorry. I want so desperately for anyone who's struggling like my brother was, to call someone and let them know, and then to reach out for help, because there genuinely is help. There is help for you. Not every day has to be like this one that you're living in today, and not everyone will be. Not every day will be like the day you're living in today. I'm going to put a phone number up on the screen that I want you to call. If you're having a day like my brother was having, please call. Because even when it doesn't feel like it, there are people who can't live without you. Even if you feel like you're alone and no one loves you and you've just done too much harm, there are people who love you and can't live without you. Even when you can't feel it. So thank you so much to all of you who reached out with kind words, and what I've learned is I am so not alone. So many people lose people they love this way, and it's an absolute tragedy. How many people have told me that I've gone through the same thing. It's a common bond that none of us want to have, right? So if you're in that situation too, I'm sending you reciprocal hugs, virtual hugs. And thankfully there's help for people like us too. So there's a lot of help out there. There's a lot of help out there. I do have a friend who's going to be doing the overnight walk in New York City in honor of my brother. To enter a team, she has to raise $1,000, which all goes to an organization that works to prevent suicide deaths. So it's a very good cause, and as that kind of develops and unfolds, I'll definitely keep you guys posted, because I know there are many of you out there who are passionate about the cause of mental health and who might wish to support my brother's friend, my friend now, who is doing this walk to raise money for a great cause and in honor of a great person. My brother was a beautiful person. A talented person, a funny person, a hilarious person. With so much to give to the world. And a person like all people who struggle with mental health, who really deserves to be remembered for more than the way his life ended. And I'm committed, and I know my family is committed too, to making sure that he is remembered for all those things too, and not just the last part of his life. Like I said, it's always tempting for me to edit out kind of the most raw and real parts of the things I talk about here on the channel, because being vulnerable is hard. I don't think it's only hard for me. I think it's hard for everybody. But I'm going to do my best to have this video be as true a reflection of my thoughts and feelings as it can be, because I think this issue is so important. It's so important for people to know. It's so important for people to know how prevalent this is. And how big a deal, again, not to get too political, but how big a deal it is that here in the United States, people have such incredibly easy access to firearms. Because like I said earlier, no one's having a mental health crisis until they are. Until they are. So I know that was pretty dark and real, you guys. But like I said, I can't talk about the past couple of months in my life without sharing that experience with you, because it has changed forever the person that I am. It's changed my work life and how I interact with you here on social media. It's absolutely changed every aspect of my life. So if I have ignored a message accidentally, or if I have overlooked posting things or not responded in a timely way to things, or just kind of been a space cadet, I apologize. But hopefully that gives some context to what's going on in my life and all the things like that. So I know after big life events, we're not supposed to make too many changes, right? Not supposed to make too many big life changes, but one thing that my brother's death has sparked in me, truly has sparked in me, is the realization that we don't know how much time that we have with people. We don't know how much time we have ourselves. So why should we be spending our time not living up to our talents, not doing the things that really bring us joy in life? Of course, we all have to do some things we don't want to do. That's not what I'm saying, but why would we spend our time in ways that, if we have choices to make, are kind of like the choices we settle for? I think I'm at a point now where I understand that that is not something that I want to do anymore. And so a couple of things happened. I've started working toward some dreams of mine. I have a long time dream of learning another language, of being bilingual. That's something I've always wanted to do my whole life. And so with the inspiration of my sister, who's an accomplished Spanish speaker and has a real passion for EL students here where I live, she teaches a lot of them in her classroom. I've embarked on a journey to learn Spanish. If you're a native Spanish speaker and you message me on Instagram in Spanish, I will do my best to respond to you in Spanish. And I'll try not to say anything too offensive. I will make a lot of mistakes, however, so please pardon my attempts. But I really think the attempt is the important thing. So I've been taking an online intensive hybrid Spanish course, which requires about 5 to 6 hours of homework a week, and then an additional 1 hour live in-person session with a native speaker through a language school in Texas called Language Plus, which if you have this dream like I had of learning to speak another language, this language school is phenomenal. Highly recommend them. Again, it's Language Plus in El Paso, Texas. They're fantastic to work with. So that is kind of a new undertaking in my life. Thus, between kind of feeling a bit of malaise, of course, that comes with a lot of grief, which is normal, I think, and then taking that on, I've had a little less time for videos, I've had a little less time for diamond painting. The world has just seemed a little less bright maybe than it did before. I'm doing okay, but it's, there's a lot to work through and process. And I have a really good support system, thankfully. But that's why things are a little more sporadic. I've also decided that at some point in 2022, I want to leave my job in the law office. My boss knows this, so I'm not announcing it. I'm not announcing this here for the first time and doing a big reveal or anything. But I respect my boss a lot, and so she and I have had that conversation already. And so I hope to move into a job that just aligns with my interests and my area of education. I have a Bachelor of Arts in Music, so something that aligns with my education and my love for teaching. I absolutely love teaching. If you subscribe to the channel, you know that I do a lot of quote-unquote teaching. Even when I'm doing my hobbies, it's kind of my passion to teach. So I'm hoping that I can use that passion in some positive way in the coming year and find something that's a good fit. Change is always hard, right? Change is always stressful. But it's important, I think, if we're putting off making a change because we're afraid of change, which is something I fall into a lot because I like stability quite a bit, that we're really, I think, on some level doing ourselves a disservice and maybe even doing others a disservice because the gifts that we have aren't being used the way that they could be. So that's kind of what's going on. Yeah, the girls are back at college for the spring semester, and that was almost as hard the second time as it was the first time, but maybe not quite. So I think you guys can tell me, you have adult children, can tell me if things get a little easier as we adjust and as they go on about their life. But they're both really happy, so that helps too as a parent, right? Knowing your kids are doing something they want to do. So that is what's going on in the world of tiny worlds of wonder. that was long and heavy and everything. But I hope you guys are doing well. If I haven't interacted with you in a while, drop me a comment because I'd just love to hear how you are. I recognize names over and over and over when I see them in the comments. So even if you never comment, I still acknowledge that you're out there. But if you want to leave a comment below, I try my best to definitely answer every question, but at least to acknowledge every comment that I get, because you guys are the whole reason for this enterprise after all. All right, I'm watching the time on my phone, and I think I better leave off there for today. I knew I wouldn't get through a whole section of this diamond painting because I'm too slow when I talk, but you can see that Frida's eye is coming to life. I'm excited. It's really pretty canvas, having a really great time with it. One last time, I'm going to put up on the screen the phone number for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Please, if you're struggling, call that number. Please call it. Okay? I love you guys. I wish all the best for you. I hope you're having an amazing week. I hope you're having a marvelous time with your projects. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks so much for being a great community of wonderful people. Sending big hugs to everyone who needs them. Take care of yourself. As always, spread some joy wherever you are. And I'll catch you next time. Bye.